Thanks so much, everyone, and welcome back. Despicable me. I'll say it again. Despicable me. You know, a few years ago, I made an interesting observation. A client was walking in week after week, so kind, so lovely, going out of her way to be so courteous to me many times. She would pay me lovely compliments, and you could really tell it mattered to her what I thought, how I felt. And after jumping through these hoops again and again, being very warm and accommodating in terms of me and my feelings and thoughts in the moment, she would then proceed to literally just trash herself in so many parts of her life. And I finally asked the question, why is it that you are nicer to me than you are to yourself? You care more about my feelings than your feelings. And there was just deadpan, dead silence. Are you kind and sweet to just about everyone else except yourself? Do you walk on eggshells to accommodate people, and you're not that great a friend to yours truly? If it sounds like you, this is the video for you. Please lean in. If it doesn't sound like you, still stay with me, because I think you'll be delighted and entertained with my message as well. So what I'm doing here, this is life survival courses. That's how you can look at this. And 5 to 25 minute synapses, chunks of time, summing it up. And it's so vital because of the way the world has changed and is changing. One of my good friends just spent big money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, for what they call these survival bunkers. I recently took a tour of one of these. It's basically an underground home in the event that something devastating happened. So I'm looking at everything top of the line, but the whole time I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is interesting. You're spending all this money preparing for what is really already well underway. It's already underway. Have you noticed what is happening in our world today? The cruelty, the disconnect, people literally letting themselves go in shocking ways and letting themselves loose in shocking ways. I was recently on a nature's trail on my bike, and I saw a man go ballistic. He lost it. She couldn't have been more than 3 years old, girl on a tricycle riding a bike with her family, kind of veered into his pathway, inconvenienced him. He had to go around her, jumps off his bike, goes berserk. And you may say to yourself, that's an extreme example. Is it really? Is it really that extreme? I'm not saying that there's not beautiful, wonderful, warm people out here. There are. Many of those folks are in my life. What I'm saying is there's some things that have gone terribly wrong. And I'm not knocking the doomsday preppers. Make all the preparations you want, but let's not turn a blind eye to what is already going on in this world, actively going on. And it takes clarity. You have to have clarity, focus, and a true alignment with yourself and your creator to stay upright. And moving forward in the climate, the relationship climate that has emerged today. So I want to give you 3 tips and suggestions on really what this video is about, is just becoming a better friend. It's becoming a better friend to yourself. So tip number 1 is realizing, see, that everything is a sort of a relationship. Everything is a relationship, not just what we share with our loved ones and our friends. Your relationship with yourself is relevant, it's real, it counts, it matters. So understanding, taking time to really realize, hey, I need to check in with who and what I am, how I think, what makes me tick, and taking time consistently to nourish your soul. To nourish your soul. Number 2 is to start speaking to yourself. Start speaking to yourself the narrative that's in your head as if there are people listening in. Some of us wouldn't even speak to our pets. We wouldn't say things to our pets that we repetitively say to ourselves again and again and again in our heads. And then you wonder, why do I feel like trash at the end of the day? Why am I so debilitated? Folks, check the narrative. Check the narrative. And it all links back to the conversation, the ongoing chitter-chatter you're having inside your head every day. We all have it. But you gotta check in with it. It's gotta become positive. It's gotta become more uplifting if you're going to take an uplifted walk. And number 3, every single day, take 2 minutes, more if you want, but at least 2 minutes to ask yourself, how am I doing? How am I doing? We ask strangers, how are you doing? When's the last time you asked yourself, how are you doing? This is a question of reflection and self-management. If you stop and let yourself answer, you're going to start finding out something interesting. Wow, I'm doing great, or this is what I need. See, we regulate as we go, but that relationship and that cord, this cord of continuity with self has to be built. And I said 3, but I'm going to give you a bonus. Another very, very important question to ask yourself, because we lean so heavily toward the negative. Ask yourself, what am I doing right? You've got to keep that in front of you. What am I doing right? And answer back. And if all you can come up with, I got up, I went to work, I smiled at someone, you have to keep those positives in front of you, and that will help you, again, deepen the connection with self. And stop waiting for other people to tell you what you're doing right, when you know damn well where you're knocking the ball out of the park or where you are on track. Keep that in front of you. And just by following these simple suggestions, I guarantee that cord within self, that cord with your Creator is going to be strengthened and fortified. I hope something I've said here made a difference for you, and I'll see you next time.